Hello and welcome back to Omo Biafra TV, where we bring you the latest concerning Biafra movement and actualization. My fellow dot in a circle, the amazing people, the blessed people, those that God has selected and chosen all by himself. I greet every one of you, to us and the Middle Beltans. My brothers and sisters, do not forget to smack the red button, click the notification bell, and share the video as you also thumbs in of the video. You know that the bad guys, they don't want us to make the world to know what we're going through, but we are here to tell the story. So the more you share the video, the more the algorithm will be pushed to do what? To move the video ahead so that many people will see the video, okay? On this video we're about to watch together here, I just want you guys to give me your opinion. Why this, I don't know what to call her, self-made Obodo-Yibo woman who is claiming to have an accent is so wicked like this. I don't understand why a woman should be talking about impunity like if to say she doesn't care. But you know why? I love the way this very brilliant lawyer guy was able to slap her front and back with his own words and action. This is the kind of people we need, and this is why we need to be praying that men and women will be speaking up instead of being afraid. But Harry, these people, they operate with intimidation. Standing up against them like the consistency in our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the only thing they hear. They don't know how to say sorry. The only thing they hear is booza, booza. Okay, we're going to watch the video. Please tell me your thoughts below as you watch the video. All right? Thank you, my wonderful people. Until next time, I remain your sister, Gloria. Don't forget to subscribe.
Arrested for simply protesting. Well, and you are saying, let us give them power to regulate social media. I would never be part of that.
Inebe, there was something you said earlier when you referred to the Eastern Security Network. I hope you are not justifying violence by any group inside Nigeria, because one of the bases for the objection of the federal government to Twitter is that Twitter has become a platform inside Nigeria for a particular separatist movement within the country. And then you were, waxing lyrical about the Eastern Security Network, the ESN, the militant wing of the IPOB. If you could just clarify your position on that before we move on.
I totally oppose. I totally deprecate and condemn unreservedly the killing of policemen, the burning of police stations, the carnage that is going on in the East. I am not sympathetic to IPOB. I don't believe in IPOB. I don't subscribe to IPOB. I am not a follower of Nnamdi Kanu. I have never been. I have always been critical of what he's fighting for. I do not believe in Biafra. I also do not believe in splitting Nigeria, even though I totally oppose the fraudulent one Nigeria they are talking about, because the united Nigeria that I want must be based on justice, must be based on rule of law. But I do not believe that we should divide the country. At the same time, we cannot criminalize what ordinarily should be an exercise of the right to self-determination. Eastern Security Network, whatever they are doing, I do not endorse it. I totally condemn it. But the point I am making, Dr. Bati, is that we should not be addressing these matters on the surface. Let us go to the roots. What led to the Eastern Security Network? Did Nnamdi Kanu just start with this group? They started by marching, carrying flag, going on the street, protesting. What was the response of the Nigerian state? What was the response of the Buhari regime? They deployed Operation Python dance. The Python was dancing on the lives of the people of the Saudis. People were being killed. People were being slaughtered. They were being attacked. They were not even allowed to protest, even when they charged him for treasonable felony. Even when they had filed charges before Justice Nyako at the Federal High Court in Abuja. The military, in a so-called democracy, invaded the house of Nnamdi Kanu, desecrated the palace of his father, who was a traditional ruler. You cannot have that in a decent country. So as we condemn the killing of policemen, the burning of police, the burn of stations and INEC offices, we must admit that this regime, this government takes responsibility for the resort to violence by the group known as Eastern Security Network. If we are not truthful about these things, Dr. Bassi, we will continue to see history repeat itself. Boko Haram started when Mohammed Yusuf was extrajudicially killed. Have we learned any lesson as a country? The answer is no. We are still resorting to primitive, draconian ways of responding to civic agitation. When people are protesting, you engage them, you talk to them. That is why you say you are running a democracy. You don't kill them. You don't deny them of the right to protest. But we keep saying IPOB, and what the president said, he would speak to them in the language that they understand. These people have not recovered. The people of Eastern Nigeria, the Igbos in particular, they are still going through the agony of the civil war. And you are saying you treat them in the language they understand? What is the language of the civil war?
But there's an argument, and I'd like your comments on that argument, that the president's remarks were taken out of context. Those he was referring to were the armed groups who have forgotten the pains of the Southeast during the Civil War. The armed groups who are going around torching Nigerian infrastructure belongs to us, INEC infrastructure, for our democracy. That comment was made to a specific cadre of criminals. So those who leapt to their defense were wrong-footed, including Twitter, who did not take time to appreciate the broader context of that remark before deleting the tweet. Now, should Twitter have approached the Nigerian government, because this is a sovereign state, before deleting that tweet? I want your take on that. And also the general global move towards social media regulation. The U.S. government, the U.S. House of Representatives actually has 4 bills right now in the offing to restrain social media giants about utilizing user data, buying other platforms. I grant you, none of them is trying to restrain or censor the actual posts that individuals make. But there is a general sense that social media giants are too big for their britches. Your comments?
Do you know that as I speak today, Nigeria does not have a data protection law? Embarrassingly enough. Because you are citing the example, and that is why I'm saying when we make these comparisons, we must look at the peculiarity of these countries. There is no single one data protection law in Nigeria today. Not even one. Not even one that protects the data of Nigerians. We don't have. We do not have. Now, you make, the point that the president's comment was taken out of context. The only person or persons who took the president's comment out of context is the president and Lai Mohammed. Nigerians understood what he said. I personally understood what he said. The context in which he said it was clear. He didn't just stop at that. He didn't say he was referring to the armed groups. No. When you look at it objectively, when you look at it in context, because he said that they have businesses all over the country. Is it IPOB that has businesses all over the country? Does IPOB have business in Kano, in Sokoto, in Zamfara, in Benue, in Kwara, in Ogun, in Cross River? They don't. Does the Eastern Security Network have businesses all over the country? The answer is no. Buhari was referring to the Igbos. We can admit it. We can pretend about it. His body language has been clear. He started by saying you cannot treat 93 and 5% equally. We have seen how he has marginalized the Igbos. No Igbo is represented in the National Security Council. Look at the nepotism. So when we are saying his comment was taken out of context, are we also saying that his nepotistic appointments, his clearly sectional appointments are also taken out of context? Because this is a president that has a pedigree, a shameful pedigree, an unfortunate pedigree of favoring a section of the country that has polarized this country as never before. So that is not a precedent that you will tell me spoke at, that people are taking him out of context. He was clear on what he meant. In any event, we have had the so-called herdsmen, or the so-called armed Fulani herdsmen, committing killing people across the country from the north to the south. Has he spoken to them? Because in your interview with him, he made reference to what Governor Otom said, that the Governor Otom said is Fulani and that he cannot deny it. Not all Fulanis are criminals. But as Buhari spoken to his kinsmen, the ones that are criminals, the ones that are armed, in the language that they understand, The answer is no. What language have they been speaking to them? Language of encouragement, language of endorsement, ruga, settlement, gracing roads, and so on and so forth. Despite that governors have rejected these divisive policies, Buhari is still trying to force it on the throat of Nigerians. He has not addressed the killings by the herdsmen. Has he spoken to bandits in the language that they understand for the last 6 years? The answer is no. Rather, Gumi is advocating amnesty. School students are being kidnapped. Just yesterday, people were praying in Zaria against kidnapping. Buhari has not spoken to kidnappers in the northeast, the northwest, in the language that they understand. He has also not spoken to Boko Haram and ISWAP in the language that they understand. But suddenly, he now knows the language that IPOP will understand. I do not think that is how to run a country whose unity you are willing to kill for. I do not think how to run a country that is...
Anyway, let's move on from this Twitter and this political...
If you are still watching till this moment, God bless you. I hope you learned something. Do you see why Donald J. Trump called the news media fake news? Do you see the way that woman acted like if to say that the people are not dying, that the Boko Haram are not killing people? They always like to make the Biafran people to look bad. You know what? You can't curse who God is already blessed. The same thing with the Jewish people. But we are more than conquerors. My brothers and sisters, God bless you for watching the video. Until my next video, please don't forget to subscribe, click the notification bell, share the video, because like I said, the bad guys don't want us to tell the story, but we're here to tell our story by ourselves, okay? Let me know what you think about that nasty woman. Let me know what you think about her. But don't let the word of our brother when he was saying that he doesn't subscribe, you know, because of some certain things. Some of them don't want to identify, but you can't deny who you are, whether you accept IBOB or not. IBOB is stand for Indigenous People of Biafra, unless you are a Yoruba or unless you are from the north. So that is all for today. Until next time, remain blessed. I love you all. Continue praying for our new country, Biafra. Don't forget to pray for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the State Security Network every day, and Simon Ekpa. Every one of us, we need this prayer now. Amen.